What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome back to Endure, Believe, Rise. I hope this message reaches you in good energy. I hope you and your loved ones are in good health. So we're gonna do a question of the day. Someone asked me. They sent me a video actually of Aries Spears, and he had a question on there or a comment on there, and they wanted me to say what I thought about it. Right? Their question was, "Do I agree? What are my thoughts? What are my explanations on it?" And to give you a little bit of context before I answer the question, the interview was Aries Spears, and he was on Vlad TV, and basically, Ari was I don't remember exactly if Ari ended up saying he believes in God or he doesn't believe in God, but the subject was he said whenever anybody brings up God, he thinks about these incidents where churches are blown up and there's kids or kids are hurt and stuff like that. And he's like, he doesn't understand why God doesn't intervene, right? And he said that he understands free will and he understands, all of that. But he says, like, there should be an exception to the rule. Like, if you're God and you're so potent and omnipresent, then why wouldn't you allow this to happen to your believers? And then he went on to reference the mob, and he said that the mob um has rules, like no women and children and stuff like that. So he says, why wouldn't God have exceptions to the rules? And basically, that's about the end of the video, right? And friend of mine sent it to me and wanted to know because they kind of felt like, well, he's kind of making a point. So I definitely 100% understand where when things happen to children, how our faith can be tested and our faith can even a waver, right? But I 100% and unequivocally disagree that that means there's no existence of God. And even furthermore, I'm disgusted with the fact that you would compare God to a criminal organization. And that right there is the issue with the enemy. He wants you to make comparisons of that nature. Look over there. They're eating. They're on top of the world. They have all these things. Why doesn't the church have these things? Why aren't the people that go to the church? So in that example, you can see this is how he begins to mold and harden your heart against the church and against God's people. Oh, you have these people over here who have this code and this standard that I can uphold and look to. Why don't you guys have the same code and standard? Now, since we're using analogies and since we're using metaphors, I'm going to use science to explain why questioning God is one of those things that let me explain. If I tell you that 2 plus 2 equals 4, every single thing and every single time you see 2 plus 2, you're going to say it equals 4. Every single place, every single time, you're going to say 2 plus 2 equals 4. And anytime you see that 2 plus 2 doesn't equals 4, you're going to say someone is lying, that they're ignorant, that they don't know what they're talking about, right? Now, with that analogy, I'm going to tell you that I've decided to make you a heart surgeon. I have just trained you, not decided, I have trained you to become a heart surgeon. Now, the heart, it pumps, right? Blood throughout the body. That's the heart's job, is to pump blood throughout the body, right? And we know that the heart has veins and arteries connected to it, and those veins and arteries go into capillaries, and all these things are going to the organs, and this is how stuff is carried throughout the body, right? As far as the bloodstream and the nutrition that goes into it, right? So now you are diagnosed to do to see heart attacks, how to train people to inform people on how to keep their heart health up. You're able to cut open a heart and fix it by replacing ventricles and walls. You are a heart surgeon. Before I go too far and lose you guys on that, you're a heart surgeon. Now, somebody comes to you and says, I need you to fix the brain. And you walk over there and say, cool, let me go ahead and start cutting. You are wrong. You are out of line. You are out of line to sit there and start cutting open into somebody's brains just because you're a heart surgeon. You have not been trained on brains. You might know the workings in the inner trees, the basic functions of it. You might even know some advanced things, but until you are trained to be a brain surgeon, you need to stick with hearts. And now, this isn't like, oh, Aries Spears, how dare you come out there and talk about religion? I'm thankful for the conversation. I'm thankful for the honesty. I'm thankful for the analogy because it helps to understand, like, you are asking an omnipresent, omnipotent being about the intricacies of the universe, not just Earth, not just the things we can see, the things we can't see, the things we've never experienced. And you want to compare this being to a crime syndicate's level of honor where they say no women, no kids. So, that's why I have a question of God exists or not. Why don't you ask God for the answer? Why don't you take time to pray and ask him to reveal himself to you? These questions, I'm not saying aren't good. 100%. Why does God allow women and kids to be slain? Is it just free will? Is it just we all get to do whatever we want and then we'll be judged in the afterlife? Is it something else? All I can tell you is trying to compare apples to oranges, it's never going to work. And you're never going to, at least with me, get me on your side by comparing a being of honor to a crime syndicate's code of loyalty and righteousness. Like, and I get that, and I understand that, and that maybe that's the most basic thing that you can think of. Maybe that's where your mind just went in the moment, but it doesn't equate. Understand, all systems have different rules. There are different levels to these things. You can't take the equations that you use for heart surgery and use those same equations for brain surgery. You can't take the rules for mechanics in automobiles and take those same rules for the mechanics of computers and engineering. There's some overlap. They're both mechanics. But a transmission does not function the same way a motherboard does. A radiator doesn't do everything that a cooling system does in a system. They both have some of the similar natures, but I can go on with these analogies all day too. And I can prove just as much the argument it is. What I would say is when you have these questions, you need to seek spiritual leadership. This is when we talk about our 4 pillars: physical health, mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health. The one that people love to negate, the one that people love to get on the internet or listen to a song or read one quote in a book, the one that people love the most to neglect and to do self-diagnostics with is spirituality. I'm in a good spiritual place. You know how? Because I know. And it's starting to get bad. And now I'm going on a tangent and I'm about to cut the video, wrap up the video anyway. It's starting to be the same in mental, where people are like, I'm bipolar because I swing from one mood to the other. I'm depressed because I'm sad all the time. I'm anxious because I worry all the time. These are self-diagnostics. These are self-diagnosis, and these are not going to be helpful to you getting to a place of I don't want to say normacy because it's not necessarily that you're trying to get in, but a place where you can function and you can start to be better, where you can start to elevate yourself. And that's what this channel is about: having the conversations, sharing the tactics, the strategies, the learnings and the teachings that I have received from the people that I've received them from, that helped me be the person that I am and overcome the obstacles that I have. So before I make it a 12-hour video, I'm going to wrap it up there. Guys, I need you to take care of yourselves. Please be kind to one another. Keep me in your prayers. I'll forever keep you in mind. Endure, believe, rise.